Hello and welcome to the history of Firefly. Today's episode we're going to be covering River Tam, and here we go. During River's early childhood, she grew up alongside her brother Simon, part of the wealthy Tam family on the core planet of Osiris. It was often remarked that she was extremely gifted intellectually from a young age, and also very graceful. She has been portrayed and described consistently as having both a strong thirst for knowledge and a love for dance. By the time she was 14 years old, she had grown bored with her studies and was already in the graduate programs for physics. It was at this point that she was sent to a government learning facility known only as the Academy. While her parents and Simon believed the Academy was a private school meant to nurture the gifts of the most academically talented children in the Alliance. In fact, it was a cover for a government experiment in creating the perfect assassin. While in the hands of the Alliance doctors and scientists, River was secretly and extensively experimented on, including surgery that stripped her amygdala. In the River Tam sessions, the progression of her youthful descent into insanity is shown. There are hints of her psychic abilities. She references the Pax, which would later be a plot point in the film, and mentions the Academy's first subject dying on the table, something she apparently could not have learned through conventional means. She had previously had strong intuitive abilities, in addition to her high intellect and ready grasp of complex subjects. How and when this translated into her apparently full-fledged mind-reading abilities is unknown, but the River Tam sessions imply that she may have already had some form of latent psychic abilities prior to being rescued. According to Simon, the Alliance attempted to isolate River from her family, though she managed to send a call for help by putting coded messages in a letter to her brother. Simon decoded the message and sent out to rescue his then 16-year-old sister, despite his parents' insistence that he was simply being paranoid. Simon exhausted his own personal fortune and sacrificed a promising career in medicine, but eventually located River with the help of anti-government groups. Simon suggested that it was the members of this group that had rescued River from the Academy and delivered her to Simon, who had in turn financed their operation. In actuality, however, Simon himself had a key role in her escape, aside from monetary supporting of the extraction. Despite all the tortures and experiments she had endured, River's extreme genius and mental abilities seemed largely intact. In a scene edited from the final cut of the film Serenity, River calculates the most efficient escape vector and launch window for the ship to leave planet Miranda entirely in her head. At the end of the film, she takes over the co-pilot station and capably flies the ship. Near the end of the film, River appears to have stabilized, but given that her amygdala being removed, medically her bounds of recovery would be limited. Even if she has a conscious decision to become and remain normal, she would not be able to harness her emotions sufficiently to appear as normal. It is possible that time spent with family and caring company has lessened the effects of her trauma, along with whatever treatment Simon had been administering. It is also possible that the appearance of normality is a result of the Miranda's secret, which is something she never knew she picked up back when she was being experimented on, and had been bothered by it nevertheless ever since, now being made clear. Despite her frail appearance and petite stature, River's skill at hand-to-hand combat is virtually unstoppable. On two separate occasions, she ventures into large melees, both occasionally with 20 to 30 opponents against her at the same time. And the latest occasion had her fighting armed reavers, all of which she killed. On both occasions, she emerges not only victorious, but apparently completely uninjured. The fighting style used by River in Serenity was a kung fu kickboxing hybrid, modified to be more ballet-ic. She was very proficient with combat, whether unarmed, armed melee, and armed at range. Her skill with firearms is also shown to be near superhuman. During a battle in the Firefly episode War Stories, she memorizes the battlefield with one quick glance, then proceeds to take out 3 advancing soldiers with one shot each with her eyes closed and her head facing away from the men. She only needed to point the gun in their general direction, and then move it after shooting once to kill all 3.